Good evening, room. Please let me know if the audio is fine. Thank you. I actually just left a message on the chat. I mean, I'm on that cheap, shitty headset for 10 quid. I actually just left a couple of chats that I check every time before I log on. And I always record my chats, I never type. And I've got to say, I don't know whether it was me or not, but it was like the most crystal clear, amazing quality microphone I've heard, like, ever. And I've no idea why, but not going to complain. As long as this wire hangs on, we're alright. Can't start this game yet, because like a twat, I got the review copy code for the Necromancer this morning, put it in the code online, didn't think that when I set the download online, it's an update in it to a thing. And for the update to actually kick in, you have to start the game. So I've literally just started the game and the update's downloading. Now the only snag to that is, I've just kicked up my Xbox One S and put a shitload of stuff in there to leave it on, and that'll probably be finished about December. So I'll keep glancing at the download for this Necromancer, because I want to start it, because I'm on this for like 3-4 hours tonight. I'm hammering the shit out of it. Can't wait. I've also got Golf Club 2 review sat on my desktop on the PS4. Can't stream any of that because I'm not 100% sure whether I've got clearance yet, because I've got it early, because we don't get it till Friday. I've had a crazy day. I'll tell you the story in a minute. And I've just had another accumulator come in. And I am absolutely on fucking fire with the bets at the minute. It wasn't my bet. I won't. I'm not going to take the credit for it. I do follow. I do follow a thing on Twitter called Super Tips, SUPATIPS. Now I did use them quite a lot last year, and I'll have to admit they weren't very good. They went downhill. Hardly won anything. So I just thought that was the time I thought, you know what, bugger that, I'll go back to myself and I'll do what I did, and that's when I've been winning well. But today, I knew I'd be watching the England game, I knew I'd be watching the Italian game, so I just squirted on Twitter this afternoon and thought, let me see if there's any bets flying around, because I couldn't be bothered to bet myself, because there wasn't enough games to bet on. So this is where this comes in handy, you see. Super Tips obviously do a lot of studying and probably got computer shit to help. Well, they did a 6-match accumulator, including the England-Germany game and the Spain-Italian game, but they also did 3 Norwegian games that were on earlier in the day. Well, I've just sat and watched the Spanish game, and that was the only game left in the accumulator. I needed Spain to win for 102 quid. Well, 103 quid bar change. And sure enough, Spain have just beat Italy 3-1. So I've just had another 100 quid win. So, like I say, I'm on fire. And I've already withdrew it, saying proper English. And it left me £2.09p. And I've got the £2.09p and stuck it on Super Tips as baseball tip for tonight. They've got an accumulator running on the baseball overnight, and I think that'll drag about 80 quid if that comes in, but I ain't bothered. But they do say it comes in threes. I won the Rams Lotto yesterday, albeit 8 quid. I've had the 100 quid winner today, so what's number 3? I think I best do the National Lottery Friday. So anyway, it's been a crazy day again. Any regular listeners to the show will know I've got that terrible little box cupboard of mine that has been covered from head to foot in boxes, full of shit. It's my rubbish cupboard. You can't get in it. It's like the biggest pain in the ass ever. I've been looking at 3D printer upgrades today, and the one I had got my eye on is too big for anywhere in my flat. So it got me depressed, thinking I really wish this room was cleared out, this little room. And obviously I can't do it myself. I've got no transport, got no way of doing it. And I'd got my eye on this printer. I've got plans for that little room, like shelves and tables and shit, and make it a little 3D printing thing. Well, I got on my iPad this afternoon and thought, you know what, bollocks. I just looked up local. I just typed into Google and I just put local rubbish collectors, and it like took me to all these like white van men, to be honest. And it took me about 20 minutes. I will tell you some funny stories though. I couldn't find them directly off Google Direct, but I then went to yell.com business pages, and it obviously takes your postcode. So it chucked all these shit up, and you like had to put quotes in. So I took a picture of the room, and it's literally only 4 foot. It's 4 foot wide, and about normal roof height, and it's only about 3 foot deep. But it'll make a lovely little office thing that I want to do, or my 3D printing station. So I took a picture, sent it off for some couple of quotes where you have to send a filler form in. What do you want? Tell us what you want doing. And it literally is full of like 95% cardboard boxes and just some shit from my old ass. Some like old golf clubs that are 10-year-old, an old PC, just a load of shit basically. And I sent some quotes in, and about 10 minutes later I got 2 replies. I shit you not, when I tell you this, you will piss yourself. I got 2 replies really quickly. Now, like I say, it's 4 foot across, probably about 4 foot deep, and the height of your roof. But it's chocker of boxes, okay? It would literally take somebody 20 minutes, half an hour, to just take it out my flat and go. First quote, £175. And I literally burst out laughing. So then I actually wrote back to him and I says, you know me, Mr. Nice Guy, I wrote back and literally said, have you actually made a mistake? Because the room I'm asking you to clear out is literally going to take you 20 minutes, and you could probably squeeze all the boxes once flat in the boot of a car. I says, and you quoted me £175. I says, I'll pass, thank you. About an hour later, they got back to me, and it made me laugh. And they come back and said, oh, we did make an error on the last quote. Please accept our apologies. I didn't get the right sizes. And I thought, no, of course you fucking didn't. And they came back and says, it's going to be £75. And I still thought, you can get fucked. No way. The next quote come. They also got a picture of the room, my description. And they also said, they come back with, I think, £95. And I'm like thinking, fucking ass, I want to shift some boxes, not paint the bastard thing. So I then got a real local one, just down the road in Mansfield, proper white van man. And I couldn't find any web addresses online, so I thought, fuck it, I'll phone him. Picked my phone up, phoned him, spoke to him, right like Dan and, you know, common bloke. And to be honest, when they came, it was a piss take. So I'll tell you this story and you'll laugh your head off. It was like fucking Only Fools and Horses. It was like Del Boy and Grandad turned up. So I asked him and I told him, and he quoted me like £75. And I says, mate, I says, no, I says, that's way too much for what I want. I says, I'm not going to pay that much. I'd rather wait and try and get help myself. And I could tell then it was like obviously one of these like low level businesses that wanted your custom, because they were like saying, well, what is exactly you've got? I says, mate, I says, I'm going to be straight with you. I says, it's a tiny 4 foot square room. I says, and it's full 90% of boxes and a few household items. I says, you'll clear it in 20 minutes. He says, oh, I can do you 60. I said, I'll tell you what. I says, I'll do you 50 and you can come and do it. And he went, what about 55? I says, if you can come today, I'll give you 55. Right, leave it with me. An hour later, he pulls up, held him and Grandad. And this was the biggest fucking laugh. Right, this and I told Ricky this, and he was pissing himself this afternoon. So this box room's just at the side of me. Now, as you know, right next to the box room is my exit to the flat, which is right at the top of the stairs. So it's like 2 steps. So he comes up and he says, all right. He says, yeah, that's not bad. We'll have that shifted, mate. No problem. So he then says, he takes a few boxes. He says, what is it? I says, everything. I says, take the fucking lot. I says, everything I'm keeping is on the bed. So he starts doing, and then he comes back upstairs. He takes one box, goes downstairs, obviously to open his van or whatever the fuck he's doing. So he then comes back up, and he says, oh, mate, he says, do you think you could throw the boxes just down the stairs so it'll save a bit of time? So me, like a soft twat, yeah, mate, no problem. So I'm like, chucking, and it literally is, it's like old headphone boxes, fucking Dyson boxes, speaker boxes. It's just that it's basically everything I've accumulated in the last 2 years, and some from my old ass anyway. Because I'm a very big box order. Because I'm a big believer that why anything's in guarantee, I want the box to send the fucker back. But anyway, so I've like it's literally just grab a box, turn round 2 steps, throw it down the stairs, and I chucked one down, and I came back and I chucked another, and I'm trying to not let things fall on me, and then I've turned round and I've chucked another, and I'm starting to my leg and my back's hurting because obviously now I've got injuries, and I'm like stood in my alcove, and I'm thinking. And I'm like starting to get a bit of a sweat, and I'm stood there thinking, hold on a minute. I'm paying these soft fuckers 55 quid for this, and I'm up here doing the fucking work. So I like waited at the top of the stairs. I says, mate, I says, everything else, I says, is a bit awkward and a bit heavy. I says, you'll have to come and get it. And I like thought, fuck that. I'm sure I'm paying you 55 quid for me to stand and fucking do half a job. But to be honest, they were all right, actually. They cleared it out. It's fantastic. I've still got a few boxes I've kept, which is my PlayStation 4, the Farpoint, and my tools are in there. Not many. It's just a drill from when I lived at the old house. And there's still a few things in there. But downstairs where I live, we have like what's called a little coal house, as we say up these parts. And in there was some boxes from when I first got here. A couple of them are mine, a couple of them was there from last time. And as I was going down and saying bye, I says, mate, you couldn't just clear me that out, could you? Because my plan is if that's cleared out, I can take everything that's left in here and just clear that room completely. And then I'm ready to do my project. And he couldn't get it in his van. It was fucking chocker. He couldn't get it in. Apparently, he'd turned up with half his van full like an idiot. But regular listeners will also be pleased to know I mentioned my settee, my big settee problem, because of my back and I'm desperate for another one. I said to him, I says, how much would you charge to come and fetch this and take this? And then we went downstairs and he started taking some boxes out that coal house at bottom, and he couldn't fit anymore. And I says, oh, leave it, mate, don't worry yourself. He says, mate, I'll tell you what I do. Your settee and the rest of these boxes, I'll come and do it you next Monday. Is that fine? I says, how much? He says, 35 quid. Is that all? I says, mate, knock yourself fucking out. I says, I'll go and sort a new car chart next 2 days. Monday, 35 notes, banging. Come and clear that out. Take my settee, job done. So it's been a fucking fantastic day. All the shit's gone out the cupboard, bar a few boxes. I've won 100 quid to pay for it all, so it's all fucking free. I'm going to have a nice steady walk out tomorrow to the local Lighthouse charity shop, because they've always got some settees in. What's fucking betting they haven't got any in? I have been in that shop 4 times since I've lived here this last 18 months, and every time they have had a settee that I would have paid for right there, right then. I'm very limited on room. I've only got 75 inches across here spare. I only want a 2-seater, but I want one with a proper fucking back, a bit of stability, because this is a bed settee. And I'll bet you as much as you fucking want that I turn up tomorrow and they haven't fucking got one, then I will be fucked, because they're coming to fetch this on Monday, and the only thing I've got then is my computer chair, which ain't a bad thing. But I'm more pleased about everything's done. Although my 3D printer's still in bits in the fucking kitchen. But that'll be sorted tomorrow. But on the other hand, what is that we see before me? It's the slipcase, which I can never understand why the fuck they put one of them on. But by the by. So, to answer what I'm surprised somebody's not already asked, why aren't I on the Xbox One? Mainly twofold. One, because this fucking thing's come out today, and you know I'm going to play this and stream this. Two, I've obviously just set that Xbox up in the last hour. It's downloading, so it's probably going to be fucking December when that bastard's finished, because I think I'm downloading about 6 games. I've put Halo Wars 2 in. That's downloading and taking forever. So I've literally got the Xbox One S on and downloading. So I'll play that tomorrow night and probably stream from that tomorrow night. And I thought I'd jump on here. So the only thing we're waiting for is the update to kick in. So I will just jump to the fucking desk and see. Good evening, Mark. You probably missed everything I've just rattled about for the last half an hour. Let me have a look at the update. Oh, for fuck's sake. Guys, this is a pain in the ass. Because everything's downloading on the Xbox, that fucker's going to take forever. So what I'm just going to have to do is I might just have to quickly jump over to the Xbox, but I'll still chat to you because it'll still be running in the background. I'm going to pause all these things so I can get this Diablo down, because the Diablo's 10 fucking gig. So hopefully we can get the By the way, it's the first time I've seen the new Xbox thing, because I'd left since that new little snazzy update. I can't see any questions for a minute, guys, so just bear with me. How can we pause it all? Shall I just switch this off? In fact, I'm just going to stay on the Xbox One for a couple of seconds, because my Halo Wars 2 is on 14.7 gig of 15.9. So when that's done, I'm just going to switch the Xbox off, and then we'll let the Diablo come. So just bear with me for the questions, guys, if you're dropping any in the chat, because I'm now just looking at the Xbox, which is pretty cool, by the way. I must admit, I like the new albeit I don't know what you guys' thoughts if you've got it, but I can't quite get the reasoning behind when you press your Xbox button and you get that new snazzy shortcut guide, as it's called. I can't understand why they've put that there and then left the thing on the left, but it's better. Because I must admit, everything's there for you. Settings is there. Your last couple of apps are there. Your games are there. Stores on there. So yeah, it's quite cool. It's not bad at all, actually. Now, I also don't know if it's because I've got the terabyte version and it's brand new and it's clean and it's empty, but it does seem to be running. The operating system does quite nice. Now, I always was one of those like Ricky. My operating system on the old Xbox was pretty dodgy. Not dodgy, just fucking slow, basically. That's all I'd say, really. I think I'm going to cancel the Forza Hub. I don't need that to download. I'll tell you the games I've just stuck in to download, by the way, on the Xbox One. Halo Wars 2, obviously. Tower Blocks Deluxe. Forza Horizon 3, because I think I might buy the Hot Wheels, because that just really excites me. Civ Revolution. Back compat. Can never remember that being on there. And I'm also downloading Elite Dangerous again, because I want to try it. Because I know what... I might even get it on the PS4, because I want to play it. but I don't know yet. But I know what you should say. You're going to say what you say to Ricky. Why don't you play it on the Xbox? Because you've got it on the Xbox. I know. Just bear with. So we've got 20, we've got 14 meg, 12 meg, 10 meg, 9 meg, 7, 6. It's gone back to 7. It's gone back up to 8. It's gone back up to 9. It's gone back up to 16. How can it start going down? Why is it now going back up? Okay, guys, I'm watching the download of Halo Wars 2 update. You've just heard me count down, and then it's just gone back up again. So how the fuck can it go down to 8 and now it's back up to 10? Now it's back up to 15. Down to 14. What the fuck? How can I download? Come on, I want it to fucking finish so I can go on Diablo. Can we just cancel these so it stops them? Bear with, guys, I'm coming back to... I'm coming back to the PlayStation any second. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do it now. Right, wait a minute. I'm just stopping everything. Cancel. If you click manage, can you just stop it from installing? Installed, ready to install. No. Queued. Can't we just pause it a minute? No, I don't want it to fucking start. It'll have to be cancelled and I'll have to do it later before I go to bed. Right, bear with, guys. I will be back in a second. Cancel. 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 Right, it's just got Halo Wars to do. I'm going to leave that there running. I'm coming back to the PlayStation, and that should speed up the good old... I'm getting tweets everywhere. You can pause any install. Yeah, sorry, I've already done it, Steve. If you're watching the stream, mate, and you're not typing, yeah, I've already done it, mate. I just want it all stopped. So, yeah, I've done it, mate. Don't worry. Right, no questions from anybody. Now, hopefully that's going to speed up when that's done. Maybe not fast enough, though, because a full 10 gigs, unless my internet's flying, which it sometimes does. I've had big games come down in less than half an hour to an hour, so we could be okay. Let me just see if it's picked up a bit. Yeah, it already has. It's already down to, put it this way, it was at, was 1 point, I think it was only 0.6 gig when I left. Steve says he's reinstalling Diablo. I take it, Steve, you're on the stream being as you're tweeting me. Yes, so I'm pleased to say I've got Golf Club 2 to give a crack at, which I'm pretty excited to have a look at, because I've kind of steered away from a lot of the videos. Oh God, I'm getting tweeted. It's got to be Steve again. Yeah, he is. All right, mate. My Xbox will be on for about a month downloading. As you can see on my characters on my Diablo screen, or you may not see, but I will quickly scan through. Level 70 Demon Hunter, level 70 Witch Doctor, level 70 Crusader, level 70 Wizard, level 70 Barbarian, and a level 70 Monk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the 6 characters. Also, we've got a level 39 Witch Doctor that I think was in Seasons. These are my two... No, the Hardcore. By the way, you know what Hardcore is, by the way? I guess you do. That was one of my favourite playthroughs of this. Because this was when I was going for my Platinum Trophy. Hardcore is crazy. Hardcore, you have to go through the entire game to level 70 and end the story without dying once. If you die, that's it. Everything resets. And I've seen videos of people playing that have been like at level 65, 66, and like really at the end of the game and fights one of the bosses and just got overrun, because you can get overrun if you're not careful. And I've seen people like at really high 60s die on video on hardcore, and controllers have been lost and smashed and everything. But I have actually finished that hardcore, that one. Enjoyed it a lot. I think these are just restarted characters. I think here we are, seasons characters are at the bottom, look, last two. Seasons should have finished with this update, by the way, because I did hear when reading about the Necromancer pack that seasons was finishing and this was coming in. You'll also see I've got no slots remaining for a new character. When the update kicks in, the Necromancer pack gives you 2 extra slots. Obviously gives you the Necromancer. Can't wait to play it. I know nothing about it, which is brilliant. It's only £12.50 as well, I've just seen in the store. So, looking forward to this. I really am. Hopefully my parts for my 3D printer will come tomorrow, and I can obviously get that back up and doing, because I've got a couple of things I want to print off. Also, you heard me say at the top of this chat I'm contemplating another printer. Now, I've spoke to Mr. Paramonos, we all know him in the room, who's the real clever guy amongst us all. He's got a Prusa, which is like the pinnacle of printers that I want, Prusa Mark II. And I think I've mentioned before, it's like £650 for the one that you've got to build. And £850 for one that just comes ready, boxed, built. Now that's the one I'd like, but that money's ridiculous. I'll answer your question in a second, Niall. So I sat watching videos. In fact, I'll tell you what I did. I read a magazine on Readily, 3D printing magazine, while I was eating my breakfast. First magazine I've read in that Readily app, actually. It was really interesting. Somebody sent me a link to say it was on there. And as I was reading it, I was reading about printers. And a printer I'd never heard of was called a C10. A Collabora C10, I think. And the fucking build plate is massive. 300 by 300 by 400. It is fucking gigantic height. Now, I'm not bothered about it being that big, because when you start to print at that height, you get tolerance problems, you get failed prints, everything. But it's the width of the bed I want. So I would jump straight on YouTube to have a look at this C10. And apparently, this C10 is like the dog's bollocks at the minute in the 3D printing world. It's getting loads of rave reviews from all the top 3D printing YouTubers. But it's sold on one of these China sites. GearBest is the one where it's actually sold. So I jumped onto GearBest, and on a couple of these YouTube videos, they give you a code to get a discount. So I'm watching all these video reviews, and I'm thinking, this looks fucking brilliant. It's 3/4 built in the box, so you've got like just a little bit of building yourself, but everybody on the review said it's fantastic. It's really easy. It's not fucking hard. The print quality is amazing, apparently. It's got a heated bed, so you could do ABS. It also lets you print in all them cool filaments like flexible and nylon and metal. So that's something I've never played with. But get this, when you put the code in, it's £290 delivered. And it's like getting the biggest rave reviews around. So that like really excited me today. But then Paramonos said it could be a bit dodgy on the bed leveling. So I don't know. What level are you on Xbox, Toz, in Diablo? Because I know you've played both. I've done them all on both and PC. It's my favourite game ever. I probably put nearly 300 hours into this game. I'm waiting for the review code, John. It should have arrived today, but I don't think it has. Can't wait, actually. Also a big mention today for PSVR. Fantastic piece of free DLC for Farpoint. And it puts you in some snow and ice and shit. And I've seen a video clip and it looks fucking brilliant. And I am going to say now, even though we're starting to get to a crazy gaming period, mad time at the minute, Golf Club 2, this has arrived. I've got the Xbox to piss about on. And then we've got I want to get back into Farpoint. I want to finish the single player in Farpoint at least. But I will say the reason I've not gone back on that in the last week or so, because it's been very hot, as we know. And I'll tell you now, you get fucking sweating red hot in that normally. So to play that in 28 degrees was a no-go. But I will be going back to Far Cry, especially, not Far Cry, Farpoint. Because of the free DLC that looks really cool. But yes, John, I am looking forward to playing Arizona Sunshine and blowing some zombies up with the gun. I've had a couple of chats today with people about Farpoint as well. Have you seen all the SNESs on eBay? Do you mean has people been sticking normal SNESs on eBay? By the way, following on from that SNES chat last night, by the way, and the fallout from it all, everybody's still losing their mind. Everybody's pre-ordered, if you're lucky enough to pre-order one. I am, thankfully. Niall, you're not the only one. There's been a failure in the email. I think I've heard a lot of people on Twitter today that they've received the Horizon Dawn Platinum wallpaper. I think, to be honest, now they've made a fuck up. It wouldn't surprise me if they just made it free on store for everybody. I don't think anybody would be fucking bothered. I know I wouldn't. But a lot of people have added the Horizon Dawn wallpaper and not even got the game. So, go figure. The mini one. Oh, so people are... Now, this is why I don't like eBay anymore. You fucking people like that are sticking orders on for something that's not even out yet. What kind of prices are they floating? Because I've learnt something yesterday that, one, makes me think, holy shit, this is going to go crazy. And two, it makes me think, am I selling mine? And I'll tell you why. Because I was listening to two big podcasts this morning. And I am stunned at this statement because I didn't know this was going to happen. But it's true. Nintendo have officially announced, as we know, that's being sold on September the 29th this year. And apparently we've got the better console, apparently. The Americans are doing the nuts. I've seen a couple of meme tweets tonight where America's like 170 quid. Let me tell you now, and I'll put this out to you. I'll finish this story, but I'll kick in from what you've just said. I predict, and I should say it on the show because I should probably have one. I predict that in January next year, them mini SNESs will be on eBay for £1,000 plus. And that will be the base figure, and I'll tell you why. Because Nintendo have announced that it comes out on the 29th, but they're only manufacturing it until December. So go figure. So you just think about that for a second. They are literally selling them on September 29th. They're going to stop making them in December. And they've not said they're making any more. They literally said that statement of, we are manufacturing the mini SNESs until the end of December. I'll tell you now that fucking console will be over £1,000 on eBay come January, like that. Telling you now. So I'm actually really contemplating not even opening mine just to see what happens, because I'm not in a rush to play it, because obviously I've played every single game that's on there bar Star Fox 2. But it's going to go crazy. I'm telling you now. You thought the last one went mad. This one, well, you've seen what the internet's gone like. The internet's lost its fucking mind. It has. The internet's lost its absolute marbles over it. By the way, what I like today, I tweeted out today when my Xbox come. I don't know if any of you guys saw it. I tweeted out today, pleased to be back in the Xbox family once again. And I posted the picture of the box. Official Xbox picked up on it and actually liked my tweet, which made me smile. By the way, did you see how shit England were again at football? I got involved in a Twitter conversation on Chris Kamara's tweet because somebody said on his Twitter account tonight we should have had all the players that should have been there, like Rashford and fucking top players as well, and all that bloody thing. And then Chris Kamara come on. He said, "Well, not really." He says because the players that went there did the best. They just went. They just failed at the last hurdle. So I just tweeted back. I put on the conversation because there's a big conversation going, and I put, "I'm sorry, Chris. I have to disagree with you. We should have had all the players that could have played should have been playing because that is the mentality of English football. You need to breed into players young winning. Winning breeds confidence. I can assure you that lad that missed that penalty this fucking tonight will probably have the shittiest couple of months opening season that he's had in his life. All the other teams fielding players that are fucking top quality Premiership players. There was one bloke playing for Spain. He looked 30 fucking 5. He'd got a beard and tattoos, and if he were under 21, I'll plat shit. But anyway, but that's the English game's mentality. And I just put at the end of the tweet, that's why we're always second best. It's the mentality we've got at football. Rather be on a beach than play for your country. And I just fucking... And I got loads of likes of it. I think I got about fucking 10 likes in 5 minutes. It just is. Every other top team in that under-21s has got the full team. Players that are playing in the Bundesliga, in the Spanish League, in the Italian League, in the Premier League. But no. England have left 5 players at home because of fuck knows whatever reason. And it just really annoys me. And I've said to Ricky tonight, because we were Skyping when we was watching that match, what really fucking annoys me, they keep posting all this month. Under 17s won something. Under 20s won the World Cup. Under 21s fucking quarterfinals of the whatever. But then there's a stop. And it's plain and simple that it's all about money. It's all about glory. It changes at that level. And where it's starting for the English game is right where it is at the under 21 level. I watched most of that under-20 World Cup because it was on TV and I quite liked it. And I'm going to tell you now as a football fan, the difference in passion between the under-20s World Cup winners on the field of play to them fuckers tonight, I actually said to Ricky, you know, if you'd have sat me down in front of this game tonight and then asked me at the end, what do you think this game is? I would have said it's probably an end of season friendly for some nondescript shitty mini tournament at the end of a season. Because the passion, the play was just missing. They was all playing, in my opinion, like they didn't give a flying fuck. You watch the under-20s the month before in the World Cup, I'll tell you now, they would have given Germany a better game than England did tonight. England played well for 15-20 minutes. I know they went in the lead. Germany had 37 shots in the first fucking half. 37 shots, and in the second half I think they had about fucking double that. But anyway, don't get me ranting on footy. I'll answer your questions, guys. I got a new Xbox, Niall. I said it on the stream last night. I went for the pack of Halo. I got the Terabyte one, Halo Wars 2, which came with, it had got Forza Horizon 3 code, which I have actually given away tonight on Twitter, and nobody's messaged me yet. I've put the code on Twitter with the last letter missing, and I've said on that tweet, message me whoever wins it, and I'll tell you right now, guys, nobody's claimed it. So if you head on my Twitter feed, there's a Forza Horizon 3 code with the last letter missing, and nobody's got back to me yet. So I'll just throw that out there. So don't say I ever give you anything. So in that pack, I've got Lego City Undercover, Halo Wars 2. It's the 1 TB and the Forza Horizon 3 code, but I already own that anyway. So yeah, I got that from Shop 2. So I just like their guarantees and stuff, and return to base for faulty and shit. I replied to the tweet with my guess. Oh right, haven't you got an Xbox then to actually have a go at the code? You getting Life is Strange 2 early to review. I've not even tried it, Niall, to be honest. I'll probably just buy it, to be fair. I don't think it's going to be that expensive because I've not even got in touch with them about a review. And I think I've just checked my Xbox. I think I've only finished it on the Xbox, so I'll be playing it on there, thankfully. So yeah, I will be playing that. Yeah, it does look really good. When's that out though? Is that I wasn't quite sure on the date for that. It is quite soon, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken. We're about to head to a crazy time in gaming, guys. I'm telling you. This summer, this year is going to be probably the biggest gaming I think we've had for a long time, if not the best summer ever. You've got Crash Bandicoot out soon. You've got Golf Club 2 out this week. You've got Diablo, Necromancer. You've got Everybody's Golf. And I think there's a couple of more big titles coming before the end of August. It's like gone mad. And people are pissing and moaning there's like no new games coming out. Let me just... I will say about the Xbox One S, and when I got it out of the box tonight, there's no denying it's a beautiful looking console. It really is. Got it out of the box, and I'll tell you what, the first thing that struck me was how small it was. And then the second thing that struck me when I thought that they've said that the X is even smaller, which is really impressive. Is that how you found it, Niall? That's a good story. I don't think nobody has claimed it yet. Somebody said you should get down your local side, Alfritton. For a national North club, they're making big signing, lots of money. Yeah, they have. I think Alfritton Town are going to go for it again this time. I've heard that as well. And Alfritton is my local football club. So if you are in this room, David Hughes, yeah, you're right, mate. Spot on. I read that the other day. Christ, there's loads of tweets going off tonight. Anywho, we've got to be close to this Necromancer downloading. Come on. Jesus. Yay, can I stream Diablo? Well, I was planning on streaming it at the tea time, but I had to clear my fucking room, didn't I? I'm just checking my emails, guys. I've not had it on tonight. Master, your Amazon order of... Yes, my cable and my 3D printing shit is coming. Oh, go away. I've just thought, actually, and this is a big shock for the evening. That I'm on my Sky email and it seems to be working. Go figure. I was going to claim it, but I'm not into driving games. Wouldn't want to let driving enthusiasts have it. Mate, it's there for anybody who wants it. And I will say it's a very, very good game. One of the best. One of the best. So, yeah, my Sky emails just worked. Right, let me just reply to this guy a minute. Sorry guys, I'm just getting through my emails because I've fucking loads of them because I've been busy. This has got to be close to finishing downloading, surely. Is it bollocks? Guys, it could be a possibility that your lot will be in bed before I start playing this tonight. Because it's only a quarter of the way through. Obviously, by the way, these servers will be being hammered because this has only gone live tonight. And we was actually told, I was told in email that we couldn't actually. It was actually weird. They actually sent me I got my lad a free Xbox One X in December, courtesy of Sky, for signing up to Sky Q. Oh, the S. Jesus Christ, man. I was going to say. So when I got my Necromancer code, they sent me an Xbox One by mistake. Now, I didn't want it on the Xbox. I wanted it on here because this is where I've been hammering it and all my characters are on here. So I just instantly wrote back and said, but what they said in the email for the Xbox, they said that please don't notify your channel or your streamers that the servers go live at a certain time. And I thought, well, that's a bit strange, but wasn't to me, and it wasn't anything to me. So I wrote straight back and said, is there any chance I can grab a PS4 code, because that's what I wanted. And sure enough, they sent one straight back. But when they sent that code back, they said there is no restrictions on this one. So I'm like thinking, well, that's really weird. Why have we got restrictions that we can't tell people the servers are going live at a specific time on the Xbox, but it didn't give a shit on the PlayStation? And that kind of confused me. I don't know why. It's a bit weird. But anyway, we're all good to go when this fucking finally gets downloaded. I'm pissed, actually, I didn't put this on this afternoon. Didn't think. Has anybody bought the Golf Club 2, by the way? Or no, a bit earlier said, haven't we? I think I've got a review and it's not... I think it's not due out in this country till Friday, I think, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, guys, I want to throw something out there and I want you all to go and look at it if you've not seen it. You probably have, or got an idea anyway. I sat watching a few YouTube... when I have my breakfast in the morning, I do one or two things. I either catch up on my crime channels on Sky while I'm eating, or I stick YouTube on to catch up on Steve Zodiac. If you're in the chat of this stream, mate, I will do your friend's request at the end when I'd stop streaming. You got any grief for getting an Xbox? No, mate, I haven't. Not a single thing. The only thing that people said about the Xbox was, why aren't you getting an X? And I've had that discussion, and I'll say it again. It's not worth paying £250 more just for a few better visuals. 4K's gorgeous, 4K's lovely, it's fantastic. But I've got 4K on my Xbox One S because I've just fucking... Oh, by the way, get this. Get fucking this. Sets my Xbox One S up, gets it all out, gets all the cables out, connects it up, boom, 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 boom. Clicked it. Yeah, if anybody... I've never said it on here, by the way. any friend requests in the stream, just send them. I accept them all. So I put the cables in. Daniel, I don't think anybody's accepted the code. Nobody's got back to me on Twitter. And I put the code out if you can see it. And I said, if anybody wins it, let me know. Nobody has let me know yet. And it went up about an hour ago. So you're welcome to try. And I'll give you a clue. It's not a number. Even though I said in the tweet it's a number or letter. It's not a number. So anyway, I'm plugs in the cables, gets my control, presses it, boom. It does all the bells and whistles, welcome bollocks, English bollocks, clock bollocks. Then says, we notice you have a 4K TV. Would you like to switch to 4K? Yes, press the fucking button. It flashed, it went black, it flashed, it went black, it flashed, it came up and it went, sorry, there is a problem. We can't recognise your 4K TV. And I thought, what the fuck? Tried it again, try again, flashy, flashy, flashy. Failed again. I thought, I bet you any fucking money, just like the Pro, and this is a piss take, this is, the cable that came in the fucking box with the S, that says on it, high speed HDMI, I unplugged that and got my fast HDMI cable that's plugged into my Blu-ray player and connected that up. Boom. 4K fan straight away. So in my house, both the Pro and the S, the cables that came in the fucking boxes, neither of them do 4K. So what's that bullshit? So if anybody ever does get a Pro or an S and struggles with 4K connection, I'm telling you now, the cables in the box are shit. That's both of them now not worked. And bearing in mind, the Pro was with my other TV as well, not this one. And I'll state this as well for anybody, and I say this a million times, I've been asked it a million times. If anybody's got the Sky cables that come with the Sky boxes that's got the pink end, they're the best HDMI cables I've got. They do 4K, they do everything. Daniel, when you say it's already been taken, how do you know it's already been taken? What's the message you get? Because it gives the same message if you put a wrong letter in. But it was an hour ago, so I'm guessing if people are trying somebody, but I'm surprised nobody's messaged me to tell me. I'll just double check, but right at that time, no. Oh, I have a message from someone in my dating app. Woohoo! Oh, I see. I just replied to your tweet with my guess. Yeah, I'm going to say, don't just reply in my tweet just with guesses. Just have a go at trying to win it unless it's already gone. I can't see your tweet, by the way. Oh, I think. Oh, wait a minute. 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 Yep, somebody's already won it, and they won it at 8:45. So I apologise. Yep. Yeah, 8:45. Yeah, so I'm sorry, guys. I've just not checked my thing. And somebody offered to buy the Forza off me. So if you're in this room, Chris O'Donnell, or Chris Donnell, sorry, I apologise. It's been mad today on Twitter, actually. I've always thought you need a 2-point cable. You do. And believe it or not, the ones with the pink ends are. I've got 3 devices connected with them sky pink ends. And when we was fucking about back in the day with all the swapping and shit and all these cables, and when I first got the Pro, this is when I learnt this, when I first got the Pro, like I said, the cable out of the box, and I'll tell you which one it is, by the way. The fucking, it's one with them thick, in fact, oh no, it's over there. It's one that comes to them thick, solid black rectangles, and it actually says writing on it that says HDMI high speed. Well, it's bullshit, because both Pro and S didn't work out the box. Get one of the others, bang. So, and that's 2 different tellies. And you do know that all these expensive HDMI cables are all bollocks as well, don't you? When they like charge you 15, 16 quid and give you some utter bullshit that it's like gold plated or that shit. Makes no fucking odds. Providing it's 2.0, it can be 2 fucking quid. It'll still do the same job. Oh, have you got 32 minutes, John? I think I've got more than that. I might as well accept this friend's request while I'm waiting. Anybody else wants to chuck a friend request in? Oh, I've got 3 fucking hours left, it's telling me. That can't be right. I'm on 76 fucking meg. By the way, guys, I don't know if I ever mentioned in the stream, what I will say about friends requests, there's no point sending me real name requests because I just don't accept them from anybody. So if you can send me friend requests, that's fine. I'm going to shut my Xbox down. I am, so bear with. But I've just thought I'm streaming fucking this, aren't I? So if I'm streaming this, it's bound to be fucking slow. I've had hardly anything to eat today. I am really hungry. Turn console off. Boom. There we go. Not that that makes any difference, because there was nothing fucking downloading. I remember paying £30 for a gold-plated RGB SCART label. Although SCART, I think they did have a bit of a... I think that it did make slight difference. If I'm not mistaken. SCARTs were fuckers to get in. Did anybody remember bending the pins? How many pins did you ever bend? Fucking... And because I'll tell you why you bend your pins. Because hands up, who does this fuck around the back of all the devices because they can't get to the back. So when you got SCART cables, you were like stretching over, breaking your fucking neck, doing that. Then you were trying to get it in. Then you like thought, fuck, it won't go in. Then you gave up, turned the fuck around, had a look, and one of the pins on your thing's like pointing 90 degrees the other way. Been there, done that. Many, many times I've been there, done that. I have. By the way, also... Yeah, I know that, John. I might just go and try that in a minute. Diablo as well. Oh, have I lost my train of thought? Because I'd got a really good thing to say and it's gone. You've thrown me off, John. Oh, what was it? Oh, yeah. Diablo Seasons 11 is starting very soon. Not long after this. I think I looked at a chart on the original Blizzard forums and they gave a massive chart. And the chart was when season like 1 starts and ends, season 2 starts and ends, so they could compare the dates. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, season 11 that's coming up, because season 10 finishes today, I think, um, is the shortest gap between seasons there's ever been. Also, guys, if you have played seasons for the first time on the PS4, don't forget that when you start your game again, you can go and get all your stuff from your mailbox, and you've only got 7 days to claim it, I think. So don't forget. Any cool shit that you got, any stuff that you got, should be in your mailbox. So don't forget to claim it. In fact, you know what? I'm going to fucking jump in now and see if mine is in the box. So just bear with. I am going to try John's tip. If it was John's tip of pausing this fucker. Tell you something else I've been meaning to do as well. Right, you fucker. Let's resume that and let that fly in. 2.744, 2.745, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. It's fucking flying. Yeah, it's gone a bit quicker, John. Thank you very much. Yeah, what I'm going to do, I am going to drop into one of my characters just to see. Then again, no, wait a minute. No, I'm not doing that. The Crusader, that was a fucking ball ache to level that idiot. Barbarians and monks were worse for me. Look at that kick-ass sword. I don't like close hand-to-hand battling in all my games. So I'm thinking, what's the Necromancer like? I do have to say that when you look at some of these characters, like your big characters, look fucking brilliant as well. I mean, look at that sword on him. It's just fantastic. And I tell you what, you know, you can never criticise this game. This game is just fucking nigh on perfection. I just wish that they I just wish that they'd bring more story out. I think it's time for us to get that was the one disappointing thing I've got with the Necromancer, actually. I love the fact there's a new character that I'm going to play. I've never seen it, don't know anything about it at all. I don't know the spells, don't know anything. I'm going to really enjoy it. I've avoided all videos. But the one thing I really would have loved in this is just give us like a brand new story chain. But it looks like they're not going to. And so basically, because I've like put fucking millions of hours into this game, I'm going to play the story again, albeit with a new character. Now, I am going to say this, I'm still going to enjoy it because I still love playing the story. And I actually might take my time a bit more this time as well. But when you start seasons 11 again, and at least I know all the tactics now to get to... Because the trick is when you start a season is to get to level 70 as quick as you can. Hiya, Henning, matey. Are you alright? What happens if we try and start one of the seasons? I mean, if you look as well, guys, I didn't even realise this. I leveled 2 characters to 70 in seasons. It's busy downloading, mate, or it will be after tonight. I've had to pause it because I'm waiting, trying to get the Necromancer pack downloaded for this so I can play this fucker while I stream. But it's taking for age because the world and his dog's trying to download it. But on the Xbox One S is nice, connected, lovely. Been talking about it a bit earlier. Queued up a few games. Ready. Halo Wars 2's ready. But I'm like inundated with games at the minute. Like I say, it's a crazy fucking time. I've got Halo Wars 2 I really want to play now. I've got this Necromancer pack that's come for review. I got Golf Club 2 this morning for review a bit early. So I've like got loads to fucking get in. So I'm getting back into the swing of things, because anyone who listened to the show last week, it was a bit... I was getting to one of them points that we all get to once in a while, when you're all gamed out. And I think I've done it for the past 3 years. If anybody listens that long and remembers the history of the show, I think I get like that every year after E3. Because I hammer it so fucking much, like by the end of the week, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do anything. I know what I was going to say earlier, started saying and got distracted by a question about the YouTube at breakfast when I'm watching it. I sat and watched a couple of videos the other day, PlayStation Access. Can't rate them guys enough, I always do. They're one of my favourite YouTubers, and if you don't follow them, highly recommend you follow them, and I highly recommend you watch all the videos, because it's really good content. And they do a fun one that I like as well, called One on Onesie, where they battle each other on a short game, and the loser has to wear a onesie for the rest of the show. Really good fun, good laugh. But they show some really good clips, especially post E3. And I have to tell you, you must go and look at YouTube, even if you're not into it. Go and find it's about 7 or 8 minutes long of The Crew 2. And the reason I urge you to go and watch it, because all the people that were at E3 when they saw that clip of The Crew 2, of the plane and the boat and the car, they all thought it was just video reel to promote the game and what its content was. Little did all them know, until they went to play it on the show floor the day after, the video that you see for 7 minutes long is actual gameplay. But the weird thing about it, the gameplay is exactly like the fucking video, which means you can go from driving a car in a fucking race against everybody else, and then all of a sudden, fuck it, we change to planes. And then, fuck it, we change to boats. But the clever thing they say in the video, as you were flying in the planes and you were still in a race against everybody, if you wanted to change back to one of the other vehicles, you had, like, say you wanted to go on the water, you had to swoop down near the water in the bay, and soon as you was near the water, you press one, held one of the shoulder buttons, it holds a reticle up, and it shows you either car or boat. He chose the boat, pressed his button, and it literally just drops a boat out the plane, kind of, transitions, splashes in the water, and you're fucking racing in boats. And I'm thinking, holy shit, this is amazing. Then the whole side of the world tilts, gigantically tilts and flattens out so you can race the boats. Then when you're racing the boats and you get near the road edge, you do the same again, press and hold the shoulder button, choose road this time, and it transitions into a car. I've got to say, even if you're not into driving games, that looks so much fun, and I've got to commend them for trying something mad and crazy. Highly recommend going and watching that video, because it's fucking really good, and I can't wait to play it. And I wasn't super impressed about Crew 1, to be fair. Thought it was pretty average. Another video I watched was what was it? There was the Crew 2 I watched. It was fucking truly magnificent. What was the other one? It was one with a weird name where it was like a pinball platform game, and I know that them two things don't go together. But it's in early development. I think they said it was going to be out next year, sadly. But it shows you about 20 minutes gameplay of it. Fantastic. Just looks superb. I can't remember the name. I'll have to find the name out. One of you probably remembers. But the final video I watched that actually made me smile and made me laugh was some actual gameplay with developer of Gran Turismo that's out later this year. And they make a statement in that's very, very important, I think. As they were showing some gameplay video, they was talking to one of the main guy, the head guy, who's passionate about Gran Turismo. Apparently, for the first time since Gran Turismo 1, that the game is actually finished a few months prior to its release. So now the entire team is just working on polish. Where the prior 5432, there was all the team was working right up to the day of release, so there was like still busy all the time. But for the first time since the first one, they can now work on polish, but the game's finished. And I'll tell you this, I must admit I wasn't that overexcited about it. Holy crap, that looks amazing. I was stood in my doorway waiting for some toast to cook. And I actually found this video by mistake. It was on one that had finished and just carried on. And obviously because it was PlayStation Access, it just grabbed one of their videos. So I'm stood at the door thinking that I'm watching something else, because I've been in the kitchen for like 10-15 minutes. And I'm looking at this thing on the screen. And it literally, and I shit you not, I thought it was an advert. And it showed you a Mercedes car driving down what looked like some small Italian or French town with all shops either side and shops behind them, and it would like slowly crawl into the end of the road, and the indicator came on to turn round the corner, and I shit you not, I stood there and thought, oh, it's a fucking advert, let's get back to the gaming. As I was just going to turn around in the kitchen, I noticed that the colour of the Mercedes changed from red to fucking white. And it like caught my eye, and I like looked. And then it changed from white to fucking blue. And then it changed it, and then I'm listening, and it was actually Gran Turismo, just showing you like a showcase mode of this Mercedes driving down the road in a street, and I swear I have never seen anything like it, ever. And I must admit, that one clip made me actually think about getting the game this time. Because I fell out of love with the last one, with the stupid fucking menus that were just, well, the game was so just hard to get into. You couldn't get into it. The menus were just everywhere. Apologies, Crofty. Yeah, good evening, mate. Been streaming for an hour and I'm still waiting for this fucking thing to download. I'm so pissed I didn't do it this afternoon. So we could be getting some... Probably by the time I stream this tomorrow, you guys will... I'll have probably finished half of it. We've still got 3 hours. Fucking hell. No. Please hurry up. Golf Club 2's installed, but I don't think I can stream it yet because I'm a bit early. Then again, guys, I'm pissing about doing that. So, started playing Metro Redux tonight. Can't get into it. Energy Metro is a very... Especially the Redux one. I would say the Metro Face one is a better game because it introduces you to the ethos of the underground, and it's quite a great little shooting game. I got about 3/4 of the way through that. The atmosphere is great, makes you fucking jump as well. Really nice, really clever. With the second one and the Redux thing, they kind of tried to just, to me, in my opinion, tried to be just a bit too clever. Made it more man management and like selling shit and buying shit, and I just didn't like it at all. But if you have got a chance to play the first one, play the first one if you've not played any of them. Still waiting on my new bulb. I've finally got a new bulb, my LIFX bulb coming for this section. And what's cool, I didn't even realise, but that one that's going in here is coloured. So I can have any colour you want. So I can sit here and say, Echo, blue, or red, or white, or green. Why the fuck you want different colour lights? God only fucking knows. Yeah, mate, Redux is the remastered bundle. First one is 233, second is Last Light. Just do think it's... Yeah, try and play the 233 as long as you can, because it does get really good. I scratched my leg and I shouldn't have done. Fucking shouldn't have done. Why have I done that? Fuck. Twat. It's right on my scars. Fuck. Yes. If you've not finished that yet, and that is in your playlist, stop playing Metro and go and play Tomb Raider, because that is one of the fucking most amazing looking games you'll play. Have you started it? Tell me if I think well, if you're saying play and finish, then yeah, you've started it. The opening scene of Tomb Raider this time or last time was magnificent. In the snow on the mountains was just fucking stunning. It really was. Good evening, Gareth. We're sat waiting bored for fucking Necromancer to download because I'm like a twat and forgot to do it, did I? So we sat here twiddling our thumbs. Only about an hour in, just finished the bit where you get chased by a bear. That was a fucker, that was, I'm telling you. That bastard took me ages to kill that. That killed me at least 4 or 5 times first time I played it. No, he's just let me down, Gareth. I've literally just emailed him. He's pulled out, as many fucking people do on Gumtree and Preloved. You do get a lot of people do that, and it fucking annoys me as well. Do you know what kind of people annoy me most on there, more than anything? Because I'm really... if I'm buying anything second-hand or I'm dealing that way, I'm a massive believer in just saying no, or I don't want it, mate, I've changed my mind. I don't give a shit about anybody changing their mind. You're very entitled to change your mind. You just don't want to do it. But you know the people that just fucking choose to ignore you? That grieves me. It takes you 10 fucking seconds to type, sorry mate, not interested, appreciate your time. Because I do it every time. If I'm going to, I'll just say to them, sorry mate, thanks for your time, just going to let you know I don't want it. Good night, Energy, mate. I'll be on tomorrow night. God knows what I'm going to be on tomorrow night with. Golf Club 2, this more than likely, or I'll be on the Xbox playing some Halo Wars 2 I'm looking forward to. So, speak to you again, mate. I did quickly install and have a quick look at Mixer for the first ever time. And I'm talking like literally 2 minutes. Do you still have... I don't, Gareth. I sold that last year, mate. That thing was the least played Nintendo device I think I've ever had in my life. Ever. But I actually think I bought that for my daughter when we was living together in the marriage home. That really wasn't bought for me. Talking of daughter, found something out the other day that I didn't actually realise, because obviously she's moved out now and got her own place, which is great. I didn't realise until I saw her on FaceTime, and I was trying to help her set a soundbar up. I gave her my old soundbar, and she couldn't set it up, so she was FaceTiming me, and I realised I didn't remember that she has my original PlayStation 3 that you guys, or Cranky Gamers, actually donated to the show way back in the day when we first started. She's still got the original and she watches Netflix on it, which is really cool. And I'd completely forgot about that until I saw it. And she sits and watches her Netflix on it, which I thought was really cool. And apparently it works fine as well. It's in fucking mint condition. But that was a monster machine, wasn't it? You could have fucking killed somebody with that. And it was expensive. Did you get anywhere with them dating sites? No, I didn't, Matt. They're still on my phone. I've had another £100 accumulator win tonight, so the pot is boosted. I've won £102 on a football accumulator tonight. So everything's hunky-dory. You have an Xbox Elite? Holy shit, James, that's crazy. I think I will say, Crofty, I think I will still sell that Switch because there's been quite a lot of interest. And people are saying you can't find the fucking things. To go back to your quick question, Matt, I know it's boring for everybody else. The dating sites, only Tinder and fucking Badoo anyway. And there's a couple more that I got into. The trouble with all of them, they all want money. And it just puts me off so much because what I'll say, I think 99% of them let all the women for free. So all the women on them sites can check all the messages, can send messages, can look at the favourites, all for free. So we go on the site and, click, oh, she's nice, like, or whatever, or sweep right, whatever the bollocks that you do. And then if you get a reply, oh, so-and-so likes you or wants to chat, you go back into that app, and to read the message that they've left, you've got to pay. And we're talking, and I'm going to tell you this as well, and I'm sorry, I'd rather stay fucking single. We're talking like they want something like 50 or 60 quid for like 2 months, fucking whatever. And all they want the money for is just so you can read your messages. I'm sorry, I'd rather stay fucking single first. Because I think when you get to that point, it's kind of desperate. It's kind of bordering on fucking prostitution. I know that's like far out, but it is, isn't it? You're paying... Why? I mean, I must admit, them sites are really, really good. I think they're fantastic. Like-minded people, go on there. There is a lot of single people out there. It's a great way to... Because dating at, middle age is a fucking horrendous thing nowadays. It's just not like it used to be. And it's like-minded people. There's some really nice-looking people on there. I know that a quarter of them are fucking fake bullshit, but you get them. You don't get many old bullshit fakers. They're all in the early 20s to catch the fucking teenagers. But again, I just wish it didn't cost money. I mean, I know the world turns with fucking money, but make it cheaper as well. I don't know if you heard this. I think I told this on the Rambler the other month, a couple of months back. When I was looking into these dating sites, like I decided about when I first got into them about a year ago. Like about a year ago, I signed up. I looked at them. I got bored very quickly. I tell you what it was. I felt very fucking sorry for myself and a bit fucking depressed because I'd like sit here at night, telly on, coffee in hand. And I think to myself, I'll have 20 minutes on Tinder or whatever. And, you're sweeping away and I'm looking at this and I'm reading profiles. And I'd suddenly get this thing and I'd look at it and I'd sit there and I'd say, what are you doing? And I'd like get down on myself and sit there and say, you are sat literally looking through a catalogue of women. And I'm like thinking, what has it come to? Has it come to that fuck? And I just switch it off. So I did that for like 3 months and never bothered. But then about 3 months ago, I took a decision and thought, you know what, fuck it. I'll have a better look this time. And I actually made an error because one of them had got, let me just tell you right now, signed up to about 3 or 4. They're all the same. You get inundated. You think you get spam email in your inbox for shit that you sign up for, yeah? The amount of emails you get off these sites are bordering on criminal. But about 2 months ago, one of them arrived with a really good offer of this subscription. And it so coincided with me getting a couple of messages the day before. So-and-so has either liked you or so-and-so has favorited you or so-and-so has messaged you. So again, you click the button and completely forget, oh, fucking hell, yeah, they want money. But that particular day, one came through where there was something like 40% off. So I went on it, and it actually did. It said on the box, something like £6 a month. And I thought, you know what? Fuck it. I buy Loot Crate, I do whatever, and spend fucking 5 times as much as that. I'll have a bit of this for £6 a month. I thought, fuck it, I'll have a bit. So I pressed the button, so it's got a big box saying £6 a month, and I went, yeah, we'll have a bit of that. Bang, bang, card, bang, bang. Thought, yeah, fucking brilliant. About 15 minutes later, I'm sat on my fucking computer. No, I tell a lie, on my iPad. And I think, oh, I've just got to check my email, check my bank, because I've got to do some shopping tomorrow. So I fucking clicks my bank. Right at the top, something like 89.95 gone out. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's 90 quid? The fuckers had only took the full year's payment in one payment. And I'm like, whoa. And I'm straight on the fucking site, on to contact us. I says, please, can you help me? I decided to sign up for your offer that you've had today of £6 something a fucking thing. I said, but please can you point out to me where on the fucking advert do you state that it's a one payment? I says, because I'll tell you now, I want my money back. I am not paying the whole thing. Now, fair dues, within 5 minutes, they wrote back to me. They gave me a refund and it was back in my bank within a couple of hours. So fair dues, there was no bullshit. They gave me money back. But I just said to him, I says, you need to fucking advertise better. And apparently I went back on it and there's 3 boxes, big fucking boxes there are. Sign up for 12 months, £6.95, cheapest. Sign up for fucking 6 months, second cheapest, whatever. Sign up for 3 months, whatever. Right at the bottom of the page, not in the box, at the bottom of the page, it tells you in about fucking 1mm writing, please be aware all payments are taken at once. And it literally is fucking that big. Bullshit it was. So that is the dating game in the modern time. But you're right, there should be a free one. I only ask because I may be joining you on the market where she's going. I've only just read that, Matt. That's crazy. Guys, I'm going to tell you, and you all listen to me, I think, or most of you do, and you know what I'm like. You've listened to my life for the last 10 years, and I'm going to tell you this, and I've probably said it before, and I should say it again. It's fucking lonely on your own right now, and I'll tell you that right now. I am lonely. I could really do with some company. It gets fucking boring. But I am going to say this. There's more times that I don't miss it than I do. Like when I've got all this like nighttime, cozy time, telly, I can play games till 5 fucking o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to have a single fucking moan in my ear. I've got pots in the sink. Who gives a fuck? I don't, but I'll wash them tomorrow. And that's kind of thing where I'm saying, you can't, my dad used to say, you can't live with them, you can't live without them, and it's fucking true. But I will say, I've been single three times in my life. I've been single for a long period of time. Been married for most of it. But I was single. I was actually a bit of a Jack the Lad when I was about 17. I got my first flat when I was just coming 17, nearly end of 16 to 17. I got offered a poxy little bedsit in my local village. Best thing I ever did. It was like first moving out. You was a young lad, and it was fucking best time of my life, to be fair. Although I will say this. I'd moved into my first bedsit fucking place, which was tiny. It was a quarter size of this, but you didn't give a shit. And about 4 weeks after I moved in, I had one of my surgeries on my leg, and that was fucking crazy time because I was on my own. I'd got a cast on my leg, and I struggled for the leg for about fucking 4 months after that. But yeah, I've been single from about 16 to 16 to about 18. I think I had a period of single in my early 20s for a couple of years. And then that were it. I think I got married, and obviously my first marriage lasted 16 years. And then I had about a 4-month gap. That was a bit of a shock to the system because it wasn't expected. And then I got married again, as you guys know. Met my second wife, got married, and that only lasted 2.5, 3 years. So, yeah, it's crazy, guys. You should all know that by now. If there's any youngsters in the fucking room in your early 20s and you're single and living the life, just keep fucking doing it. Believe me. Keep doing it. Plenty of time to get old and fucking with a partner. And I'm going to tell you something now, and I'm old and fucking wise. You know when you were young and 20 and 17, 18, 19, 20, and your parents and fucking, especially your dad and your mum used to say, oh, you don't know you're born, you won't, and all this. And you know when they're giving you all these tips and shit, and you just like think, pfft. I'm telling you now, listen to every fucking word they say. Um, no, mate, no, guys, she didn't die. She's actually, believe it or not, she lives round the fucking corner. We actually get on better now than we ever did. But my daughter, they live literally. I could walk from my door to her front door in less. In fact, I'll tell you what. When she lived at home with her mum, my daughter used to visit me here and leave here, and I used to say to her, "Text me when you get home so I know you're safe." She's left the door, I've locked the door, I've walked up the stairs, I've gone for a piss, I've sat down, and my phone's texted. I'm home, Dad. That is how short they live. But she's alright, we get on there. Listen to the show for years. Your second one finished almost overnight, it seemed. Must have been hot. Mate, the story is really bad. I can't go into it because I'm not going to do it on a stream. But if you don't listen to the Rambler, Neil, there's a few things I mentioned on the Rambler show you might want to go and listen to. In the early shows I mentioned. But yeah, it was a shock. I've mentioned on that show that to me, the reason I am still suffering depression and on antidepressants is purely because the way my marriage ended. To me, it's like she died. To me, because it ended so quick, and it was all her and not me. And it was violent as well, but I'm not going into things like that. But it was all on her side. So to me, the shock to the system of what I thought was a perfect relationship, because we'd known each other since we was 18, for the next year or the previous year from now, it's like she's died. And that's how it feels to me. Because fine one minute and not the next. So... Mate, no, Neil. Don't apologise, because if you are a regular listener to this stream or my podcast, you'll know I do suffer from depression, but this is my escape. Talking about it on here is my escape. Keeps me sane. So never apologise for questions. I welcome any question. I am very open. I will talk most subjects. It's my escape. It's my sanity. So don't apologise. You don't need to apologise. Yep. Funny thing, actually, my first wife popped in the other day to drop me um, something off, and we were chatting, and even she fucking told me that I should get out more, which made me chuckle actually, because all you guys tell me that a lot, because I don't go out. I very rarely go out, and I thought to myself and laughed that even my first wife was telling me to fucking go out, and which I thought was quite funny. I think, to be honest though, guys, I mean, and I think you guys must have something on a kind of similar ilk as well, that gaming is a really massive part of escapism, of taking. I mean, you guys have got the daily grind of going to work and having wives and kids, and you know it must be fucking. gaming to us, or to you as well, it's just a great escape. It keeps you. It's one of the greatest things in the world, in my opinion. Um, it's it is. It's just, to me, it's a massive help. And I think I do come across at times when I'm on the show as well. When I'm deep into games that I like and I'm excited about the new releases, like now, it just keeps me sane. It kind of pulls me out of the depression a bit. You know what I mean? So I'm guessing you guys wanna. It's like that. Oh, Marco, spot on, mate. The gaming. You see, I say on this part about gaming, and I had a big, I have a big fucking point to make regarding relationships and things and all this. And I had this with both my wives because they were both very similar regarding they didn't have their own hobbies and interests. And I'm a massive believer, and I've said it many times on the show. Real life's real life. We all get partners. We all get kids. You have to be serious. You do real shit. Life is life. But every single human being on this planet deserves their own time. And when I mean their own time, I mean where their partner doesn't give them hassle, doesn't question what they're doing. Obviously, I don't mean doing something really shitty or serious or whatever, but everybody deserves their own time. Because there's nothing worse in this world, because I've lived through this twice, than having that feeling of you are virtually scared to tell your missus you want a game, or you want to, I'm just going to do some gaming for a couple of hours. And I bet you every man relates to this, that everybody says just to keep the peace. And it's true. No matter how big and hard and fucking big you think you are, I know for a fact that every man out there at some point in time has been sat on their own thinking, shit, I want to go and play a game, but I fucking didn't say anything. And when that happens, that's when there's a problem, in my opinion. Because every human being, and I include the wives as well, should be entitled to time on their own. Marco, and mate, I've been there twice, mate. I'm 51 and I know exactly what it does. And I'm telling you now, it's a kind of abuse. It's a kind of mental abuse, because you're a grown person. And I've always lived with a mantra of, I used to say this to a lot of people and used to fall out with a lot of people. My father used to tell me what to do every day till I was 16 years old. When I left home at 16, nobody in this world is ever going to tell me what to do again. Ever. And that's what everybody should be like. Whether it's your partner, whether it's your girlfriend, whether it's your best friend, or whether it's anybody. You are a grown adult. You should be entitled to do what you want, when you want, with no comebacks. And it just is. And like I say, it's women need hot. And I used to encourage both my ex-wives, when, because we all get into arguments, and we'll have all been there. We've all fucking been there. Big arguments blow up, they get out of proportion, you don't talk to each other for the next fucking day. You sat in the corner of the settee, don't look, don't even get up for a piss at times. Don't even breathe. And it should never be like that. Ever. And it's wrong, it's just shit. It's part of mental abuse, in my opinion. And I used to say to my ex-wife, look, please get a hobby. Go to the gym, do anything. Go and play bingo, do fucking anything. Because it kind of gets them in a mental place where they feel that you're doing something. And it's crazy. Do you think I'm turning into my dad? Yeah, fucking hell, without a doubt. I often now, rest his soul, that I chuckle to myself many times and think, fucking hell, I am my dad. Because you all remember the days when, you're 17, 18, you think you fucking know it all, you think you're the bee's knees, and your dad used to bring you down to earth and tell you shit, or give you a clip round the fucking ear hole, or give you a bollocking, and you still thought you were Mr. fucking clever. But no. And looking now, you do. You realise your parents were right. One thing that hit me, um, the one thing that hit me most when you got a mature adult, and especially when you got married, and I had my own child as well. I actually shed a tear for this one night. I had a really deep, meaningful fucking thinking on my own one night. Um, I come from a working class mining family. My dad worked down the pit for 38 years. We also lived in a time when he only worked because women didn't have to work then, because that's just the way it was. Um, so it was a proper old fashioned, proper household. Um, and what it was, it's like I've lost train of thought now. Niall, I'll ask you on. Did you like? No, that actually was kind of similar to what I was saying about when you won a game. It was kind of that, but I used to put my foot down. Well, you guys know that how regular the show's been through marriages, divorces, and what have you, because I both put my foot down and said to both, say, listen, this is the one thing I like in my life. I ain't got much, but this is it, and you ain't taking that away from me. And I often said, you can sit and sulk for a fucking week if you want, but I am doing this. I am doing, and I said, you ain't stopping it. I said, I've said it to them both. I said, you can sit and sulk as much as you fucking want, but you are not making me feel guilty about doing this. I said, because it's a couple of hours once a week, so fuck it. You see, Matt, there's another problem, and I don't mean this to sound sexist at all, because there's plenty of women gamers and there's a lot out there. And big joke, well, not big joke, big question I've once said on the show. I think somebody's asked us more than once, would you like a partner that's a gamer? I don't know. I don't know. I do often see a couple of people on Twitter that I'm friendly with where they're a really nice couple and they're both avid gamers and they seem to get on fantastic. And I really do believe that looks a fantastic partnership. But I am going to tell you now, guys, there's no fucker out there with a perfect partnership. I'll be amazed if you can find one. There's bound to be arguments somewhere along the line about anything, mostly trivial matters, mostly. But gaming is a hobby. It's a big hobby. It's one of the. And you know what, Craig? That is where most men sat in this room right now chatting will know. As long as they're watching their fucking soap operas, other reality TV, that'll keep them happy. And the biggest tip I'll ever give you, when your missus sits down with her feet up to watch fucking Emmerdale or Coronation Street or whatever, go and put your fucking console on. Because you've got about a 2 hour window where they ain't gonna fucking move. That's the biggest tip I'll give you all. Try and find out when a favourite program is when they don't move. And as soon as that happens, that's when you get your gaming on. So the biggest problem with relationships and gaming, shall I? And this is where I'll admit, this is where it kind of didn't go tits up, but was the start of my first marriage. As not problems, but it's where it started the steady slope of where it went. And it falls into the category of what we're talking about. Gaming, hobby, when do I game, when do I not upset the missus, when do I not upset the partner, la-di-da-di-da. So my way of thinking was, when she's gone to bed, I'll game. And I got set into a pattern where that's exactly what I did. Now we all know, as a partnership, let's go to bed, And I don't mean let's go to bed and fucking have sex. I don't mean that point. But we all know as a couple living together that going to bed together is a very nice, normal, relaxing thing to do. And what happened to me is I had to use that as my gaming time. And that's what I did every night. It was like, oh, I'm off to bed, love. Are you coming? Oh, I'll be up in a bit. Won't be long. 3.5 hours later, I'd slink into bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And then we got the usual in the morning. What time did you come to bed last night? So it starts the whole chain of guilty setting off on a bad foot kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? That's very true, Gareth. That's a very fucking true point, and that's what most of us will adhere to in this room. 99.9% of men that do gaming probably would admit that their entire gameplay is worked around the partner. In fact, I'd be very surprised if there's any men that literally would stand up and admit that they can at any time just get up and say, oh, I'm just going for a couple hours on the console, love. Craig, that's another story, mate. If you don't get fucking... You'll get to a stage where that won't even matter, believe me. Believe me, mate. That won't even matter. That's a whole new fucking subject. That's a whole different subject we could talk about. We could. We don't look like we're going to be playing this tonight. Like, well, I will be, but you fuckers won't be watching it probably. I stay up now, but feels... It is, Matt. Matt, believe me, I'm going to tell you now, mate. 100 million%, no matter what you think or what your missus tells you, it's having an effect. She's going to bed on her own. And if that's happening every night, you're literally destroying your relationship because there is none. Let me cast your mind back to when you didn't game at night time, but you went to bed with your missus. Again, not for sex, but you went to bed together, had a chat. How's your day been? What we're doing tomorrow? Probably lights off, cuddle, sleep. That's going to bed. That's what women like. But you then turn it into, oh, I'll be up in a minute, though. That turns into 2 hours, 3 hours downstairs. And that's it. That's the point. And it will be affecting your relationship. I can fucking guarantee it you 100%. She may not let you know. I'll tell you when she'll let you know. When the first fucking big argument kicks up. You'll have a big argument that'll be fuck all to do with any gaming. But then it'll kick in. And she'll utter the words, you don't come to bed anymore. The minute you hear them, you're in trouble. When you hear them words, you don't come to bed anymore. Yeah, you need to do something about it. And, you know, some of us will envy you for the time to yourself, but if you had the nag of the gaming issue, would you envy us? I don't quite get the end of the question, but guys, I'm guessing that a lot of you would swap places with me for what I've got, and I don't mean the lonely, I mean the gaming bit. I can game at any time I want. I can do what I want with no comeback. I think every single man in this room would say, "Fuck yeah, please sign me up." But as I said at the start of all this chat, I am getting to a point now where I am thinking and I'm thinking it more for my sanity more than anything. Because I can't stress, and I know I say this, and I don't know if people actually do get it, or that you guys just sit there and go like, really? But when I say I don't see anybody, I mean it 100%. I do not see anyone. and I do not go out. And if somebody had told me that 5 years ago, I'd have laughed at them. I'd have said, don't be fucking stupid. I like going out. We'll go for a drink. We'll go for a meal. I go out with my brother for a meal and all that stuff. Nope. No more. In fact, if I actually told you guys, I might have mentioned it in passing before on these streams. If I actually told you how many times I've actually set foot out my back door in the last 7 months, I think you'd be absolutely fucking shocked. And I mean shocked. I'll tell you what, wait, let me have a think. We'll say it's July, innit? A couple of days off July, I think we are. So June, January, February, March, April, May, June. So that's six months. Are we in 6 months? I would say since January this year, 2017, I have been out my door, and I don't mean like out the door to the bins or whatever. What I mean is like doing something. And I'm counting going to the local shop because I need to get a few bits and bobs. So since January, I have probably been out my door 12 times, I think. And that's just counting back, thinking of the things that I know I've done. So, maybe a bit, about 15 times since January. And I'm willing to bet that some of you in this room have been out that much in the last 2 days. Get to the... Yeah, that's true, mate. Go for a pint. Is a platinum trophy better than sex gamers? Depends how hard it was. Niall, I couldn't tell you, mate. It's been that long. And I don't mean the platinum part either. You see, Craig, I agree in all you said, mate. And I am actually, by the way, I forgot to mention, so big cheers and trophies and bells and whistles. I'm actually going out tomorrow, providing it's not raining. I've got to go to the local charity shop to try and get a new couch because I'm actually finally doing that. So I am actually finally starting to do a thing like my project for this room I started talking about at the top of the stream, where I've paid money for somebody to clear the room out today. And I'm going to do my project to get my print. I'm going to set it into a printer room so I've got separate so I can get a bit of room in the kitchen again. So that's now going. But I also am going to get my settee because somebody's fetching this one on Monday. So I am going out tomorrow, and I am actually, believe it or not, I'm going to be very close where the Lighthouse charity shop is. The cafe that I've mentioned is literally around the corner. So basically, when I go to the charity shop, where I walk to the it's like I'm going to walk down a bit of a road that's going to be about 10 minutes, well, about 50 minutes. I have to walk slowly. So I'll walk down this long road, I'll come round a corner, and the charity shop's there. Now, if I come out the charity shop when I've done, I can just walk back the same way that I come, or I can walk that way, and the cafe is just round the corner. But if I continue round, it's on like a big square. So, depending on what mood I'm in when I come out the charity shop, I'll either go round to the side and round to the thing. About time you got a sofa and a carpet. I can't get a carpet, Craig. It's impossible now, mate. It just is impossible. The room is so full of stuff that for somebody to come and put a carpet down in, I just don't know how they do it. Where are they going to put the stuff while they put the carpet down? It's just virtually impossible. And also, the prices I have been quoted for carpet for this flat, I'm not going to pay it. I'm sorry, I ain't going to fucking pay it. I've been quoted over £200 for this room, and it's 24 foot long by 8 foot across. Sorry, not fucking worth it in my eyes. But when people say about people, I haven't got completely bare floors. I'm not living like a fucking pauper and a tramp. I've got some very nice rugs on the floor. I've got like 3 or 4 rugs on the floor, so it's fine. There's just a couple of bare patches where I haven't got a rug because I've got tables there. So I know that when I take pictures on Twitter, I get loads of messages saying, "Oh, Toz, get yourself a carpet, man." I'm not that bothered because it's just very them patch. The problem is what you seeing on them pictures is just the face my camera's facing, and that bit you see of where there's no carpet, that is literally all in my flat that's got nothing on it. All the rest over here and behind me has got rugs on it, so it's not as bad and as pauperish as you think. So don't worry, guys. I couldn't. You see, if I start, it's a good idea actually, Declan. If I get some carpet tiles probably to fit this thing, but it's going to start looking like fucking like a patchwork quilt. You know what I mean? Yeah, it will do. I mean, the rugs. Don't worry. Listen, the fucking radiators keep me warm in this flat. I can assure you. And don't forget, I'm above a flat downstairs, so heat's not a problem. I can assure you, Craig. Even in the depths of winter, heat is not a problem. We haven't got to see any fucking Diablo yet because it's not downloaded. Sad thing is, guys, I will be playing it when it's downloaded. Can you believe it's gone? By the way, it's now saying it's 4 hours to go when it was 3 hours before. So it don't look like it tonight, guys. But I'll keep chatting for a bit. Just gonna have a quick toilet break in a second and get myself a drink. I think a bit of water, and I might just grab one little dram of whiskey for the evening. Alexa, time is it?
The time is 12:09 a.m.
Oh Christ, it's past midnight. Give me a minute, guys. I'm just gonna grab myself a drink and have a loo break, and I will mute it so you're not hearing my disgusting sounds. So I'll be back in a second. I have had nothing to eat today, Craig. I'm afraid. I know you're gonna cuss at me today, but I haven't. Back in a second. That's me back. Keep pouring. I have done, mate. I have. I've done it about 3 times. Well, I've managed to grab an ice cube. Well, I say ice cube, a stainless steel. I love that noise. Bop. Got a couple of messages off people yesterday about this new whiskey, this Bulleit, Bulleit, Bulleit bourbon on Amazon on offer at the minute. Our friend Eric from America, the policeman, he messaged me with a picture that he's got a bottle all the way over there, and a couple more messaged me. It's a really pleasant drink. It's one of my favourite ones, actually. And I'm trying it with ice tonight. Well, stainless steel cube. So I'll let it cool down for a bit. What? Any of you guys picking up Golf Club 2? Does it interest you? Or any of you picking up Crash Bandicoot? Any new games that's coming out in the next week or so? Are you guys picking up out of interest? By the way, there might be a Rambler this week. My dad wants me to get him some Captain Morgan for Father's Day. Father's Day's gone, hasn't it? Buffalo Trace. I've not heard of that one, James. I will tell you to try this one though, matey. I swear it's phenomenal. Really is. It's really pleasant. It's nicer when it's cold. Although they do recommend drinking it at room temperature, don't they? But that's nice when it's a bit colder. Looking forward to trying the Golf Club 2, I must admit, by the way. Yeah. I will. What I'm going to do, I'm going to email the company tomorrow and see if I can stream it tomorrow night. Because I think it's out in the US today. So I don't see there should be a problem for me to stream it. So I've not tried that one, Mars. I must admit. It's Virginia Black. Not heard of that one. You got Crash on pre-order, have you, John? That's interesting. I'd like to see what that's like, actually. Ah, right. So you've got to treat him after the fact, Craig, have you? Captain Morgan's vile, though. Oh, God. Ugh. Never been a rum drinker. Never been a brandy drinker. Not been a vodka drinker. I think all that gin's vile as well. The thing about Golf Club 2, I can tell you now, there is crowds this time. They've done a way better character creation. There's a really very good multiplayer. There is tournaments, I've heard. The course builder's still there, but I never touched on that, I must admit. I've only seen minimal video because I wanted me to get my own views on it. As you guys, regular listeners, know, I very rarely will watch any video of a game I'm gonna watch. Depends what it is, Mars. Ask away, mate. If I can, I will. But the Golf Club 2, the only worry for me is, you guys know, anybody that's played the Golf Club 1, it's fucking terrible as a golf game. It's like, it's literally took a man, stuck him in a field, put some trees in it, and just fucking... Bleh. Do you know what I mean? It's like, shit. I need help with a level 150 Greater Rift. To be honest, Mars, I don't think I've even got that high myself on the Greater Rifts, but if you want to jump in one night when I'm on the stream and I'm doing it, feel free. I'm not tonight because it's very late for me at the minute. It's like midnight gone. But I will gladly jump into one of your games and see if we can do it together. No problem. Did you get that VR game you mentioned on the show with the light? The zombie game, there's something Sun or other. I'm waiting for the review code. In fact, I might hit them up tomorrow because it's actually out in the store. That looks cool as shit, that does. That's like Walking Dead in the streets round cars and there's like just zombies coming at you and you've got that gun to shoot shit out of them. I'm going to tell you something, guys, as well, shall I? I predicted about that 4-point gun. Remember when I said this on the show, I said this is a game changer. Remember that? I'm going to tell you now, the amount of games that are being spoken about with that gun are fucking getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. And I'm going to tell you something now. Next year, when developers have now got the open source this, yeah, mate, send me a friend's request. No problem. We'll sort it out. That 4-point gun is going to have such an effect next year. I bet you, and you can quote me on this, I think that gun will sell VR units on its own within the next 12 to 18 months, because they are going to stick it in Call of Duty levels. They are going to stick it in fucking big RPGs. I'll guarantee you that now. Asking me about Skyrim, Craig. I'm going to put a video on actually when I've done chatting to you guys and I do my YouTube before bed. The guys at PlayStation Access, I think, have put a video up today saying Skyrim on VR looks okay. If it's teleporting, that's what I'm waiting for, James. I've not seen any videos yet. I will say this though, if you don't realise, I think I mentioned it either on the show or on the Rambler. I'm fucking shocked that it's 50 quid. I might try and hit them up for a review of it. I've not got in touch with them guys for a while, but I should have their PR on my contacts somewhere. So I might hit them up and see if I can grab Skyrim VR, because I'd like to try it, but paying 50 quid, fucking no chance. If it's a teleporter, James, that's... Oh. Teleporting in VR games works, providing what game it is. If it's a very short-based game, it's not big, and things like that. But it's... I don't know. Like I say, I tell you what they ought to do. They ought to stick a fucking demo on it. See you, Mars Spy. I'll be on again tomorrow night. Don't worry. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget the like button, guys, because the likes on last night's stream were awful. And I must admit, I actually contemplated not streaming tonight because of it. And I know I don't go for all that shit, but a bit of like wouldn't go amiss. Especially, I think there was 11 on last night's. So, a bit disappointing. If there's a blue line, that's a teleport. But let me just say this, James. Most VR games will offer you multiple choices. Yeah, we'll be getting Destiny 2 definitely on the show. Steve will, Aidan will, I will, and I'm sure as shit Ricky will jump on as well. But I'm not one for jumping in groups anyway like that. So I'm Mr. Miserable, as you guys know. So I'll just probably play the game on my own and you know what I mean? Unless I do. So... Now, when you see a blue line, Craig, in VR games, what you're going to get is... You watch me play Farpoint. Most of you did on the streams. If you haven't, they're on the Cranky channel. Go and watch it. Give you an idea. When you see me moving in Farpoint, I've got the headset on. I'm stood up. I've got the gun like that. And the left stick actually is used to walk. Now, I'm guessing that's been programmed that way because the assets aren't massive. You've seen the landscapes of Farpoint. Okay, they look really fucking good for what the game is. But if you actually analyse it, it's like... It's very barren. It's rocks. It's the planet. It's very scarce. The main assets of the programming are the animals that you're shooting. So it can handle it. And the movement of the left stick can be handled. Now, you then suddenly change to Skyrim, and you've got the fucking world and his dog kick going on, then you're going to struggle with movement. Now, also what you've got to appreciate, Skyrim in its universe is fucking gigantic. It's massive. Now, my personal opinion is, what you're saying, James, I think it probably is teleport, and the reason I say that is because it's so big. And it's not the point that walking with the left stick wouldn't work. It would work fucking perfect. I'll tell you now, every programmer who's planning on using VR in a big game needs to get Farpoint and rip it apart on a technical level. They want to learn how they did the movement. They want to learn how the gun. Well, they'll learn that because it's open source. But they want to learn how to do the gun, the movement, especially. Because that movement works fucking 100% perfect. You don't feel sick. You don't feel shit. It's perfect. Wherever you look, wherever you point your gun is where you walk. Fantastic. Your reticular and nothing is controlled by your head. The only thing that your head controls is sight, like in real life. So where I look, I look. That's normal. Your body can cope. When you get Skyrim in such an open world, I only say that I don't think it will be movement, purely on a programming basis. I don't think they've had enough time, unless there's some clever programming going off. I honestly don't think they've got enough time to map a stick movement within the Skyrim universe. It's just too fucking big. But I do predict a game like Skyrim and of its size one day coming to VR with proper movement. It was Bethesda video. He even said you teleport. Well, if that's the case, James, you see, I'm not going to say it's the shittiest thing in the world. It's not. I will admit I don't like it because it's very difficult to get used to, because as a gamer for 40 plus years, it's something we're completely alien to. I know that VR is alien anyway. It's a completely new experience and you need to condition yourself anyway. But teleport movement is a whole new ball game. Didn't get the teleport thing, don't get the teleport thing, Resident Evil. It does matter, and this is my point, you see. You've hit the point on the head, what I've just said. It's all about programming. And I think in time, you've got to think that developers of Resident Evil purely went out on a limb to make this game from scratch to be perfect for VR. And they did. They made the stick movement, they made it playable without VR. They literally covered the bases and did it really great. But again, just think back to programming levels. Resident Evil was in a very enclosed environment, even though you could walk. Okay? And if you remember, if you ever got to play it, they still had at least 5 or 6 different control schemes for different people. What I'm saying is, moving forward, I think VR's here to stay. I'll tell you that now. I said it right back at the start, and I'll say it now. Say it today, and I'll still say it. It's not going anywhere. It's getting more popular. It's selling by the million. It's doing well. Personally, I'd like to see it come down at 100 quid now. I think it's come down a little bit, but I'd like to see it come down at £100. Knock that off. I also like to see the games such as Farpoint. I would actually say right now, I think Farpoint is a VR seller. If you're a gamer that loves shooting shit and killing shit and being in an environment of real-time shooting, it's a seller. However, if you haven't seen the video for the online game that was showed at E3, and the name escapes me, but it's a full multiplayer online shooter. They even described the graphics and the mechanics of how it works. It sounds fucking amazing. It's like taking Farpoint to a whole new level of online multiplayer. And seriously, this game is getting to a point where it is the kind of Call of Duty multiplayer, but with the Farpoint gun in an army shooter mechanic. It looks fucking amazing. I'm trying to think what the name is. One of you will pull it. It's the shooter that was on. I think teleporting would make you feel more like Dungeon Master or the IB. It is, James. It's a very weird mechanic, but it works in certain games. Like a small adventure game. Remember when we first got the VR early and there was like the small puzzle games in them space things? I think I covered a couple. In them environments it works because you need to just jump about. But in time we'll get to the movement. Do you watch John Sucks at Video Games? I don't, Craig. I've never heard of him, mate, at all. New VR game on store called CTRL, not one review online, so didn't buy. Matt, it's my big point. You know I say it every week. Anybody who's got a PSVR unit, you need to check the store every week because they just don't fucking advertise. They really don't. And yet, I'll say this every week. You'll go on the store, and I'll bet you there'll be a new game on there every week, which is good, which is great. But they need to advertise more. In fact, I think I went on the store the other day when I bought The Witcher, and I always look at the VR stuff. By the way, somebody's told me I've seen a tweet tonight, and I need to check. I need to check the store tonight, unless anybody's on it or can check. I saw an American tweet that says, you know what's the shooter in the Funhouse? The one of the early games on VR. In the American store today, that's been put down as a sale item, really cheap, like $7. So if that's happened in this part, that makes it about £5. I've not got that yet. I've only played the demo, and if it is about £5, I might buy that. God, that's just gone right into my chest, that has. Holy shit. Woo! Ooh, that was a stinger. Let me go and pause Diabolo again and restart the fucking thing. Still saying 4 hours. I will tell you now, guys, I'm just counting now. Believe it or not, we are just about to hit 4.958, 59, 60, 61, 62. So we're virtually halfway fucking through. I'll tell you what, guys, I might not even be playing the fucker tonight, let alone you lot. I'll tell you what I will do, though. I think when I've stopped this stream, I might jump into Golf Club 2 just for an hour, because I don't think I'll be playing this fucker tonight. That's a shame. My fault. My own stupid fault. My mistake. We shall play it tomorrow night, and I will stream the shit out of it tomorrow night. So I might actually save this for the stream tomorrow night. I won't play it in the daytime because I've got Golf Club, I've got the Xbox One to have a piss about with tomorrow. I will wait till tomorrow night. You mean until Dawn Rush of Blood? Is it still $15.99? That's a bollock. Been a tweet out tonight. It's $7 in the fucking sale in America. Which is bullshit. Oh, it's not bin night tonight, is it? Oh, tell me it's not Wednesday. It's not Wednesday, is it? It's Tuesday, innit? And I don't mean past midnight. I mean it's been Tuesday today. It's been a decent steady room tonight. Means we've not played a fucking game, but we've had a good chat as always. I'm always good for a chat, guys. You can guarantee that. Still not bought some new snails or shrimps for my tank. That needs some more. Where does the fucking water go in the fish tank? I'm sure they fucking drink it. My fish tank loses about, I would say, 2 millimeters of depth virtually every 48 hours. Like, I changed that tank fully 3 days ago, and it's like fucking, it's missing that much now. Bought a drift yesterday, ready for VR. It isn't. No, I could have told you that, Matt. I've said it on the show, mate. It's not VR. I don't, mate. I do not. The young lady that visits me to play VR, Kirsty, she has bought the same tank as me when she saw mine. She's bought the same fish, different colour. And we was having a chat the other day about the fish tank. She's often asking me questions. She was told that PetSmart, you know, PetSmart, fucking horrendous store in the world, never buy anything from them. They told her a couple of right load of bullshit statements. And I think she feeds Just Airs bloodworms. The reason I don't, I'll tell you why, Craig. My fish was nearly dying when I first got it. It was really under stress. So I had to try and bring it round. And I bought a thing off Amazon. And it's actually called Better Fish Food. And it's actually given the tagline, brings out the colour and makes your fish healthy. Now, I thought it was bullshit marketing. But I can't tell you enough. that changing from the normal flake food, albeit it says better flake food, which again, it fucking bullshit. But I will say that changing to that, I'll try and get a really good picture tomorrow and put it on Twitter. You're on Twitter, aren't you? I think you are. I'll try and find a picture and take a good picture with my Galaxy because it's the best quality camera. And I'll get the fish and put a picture on it. And I'll tell you now, when you see it, it looks fucking amazing now. And when I first had him, the first few weeks, he was on the bottom of the tank. He weren't moving, dead lethargic, and I thought this fucker's dying. His fins were still beautifully orange, his natural colour, but his main body was going white, and I just knew it was stress. So I bought some stress coat. That's been a magnificent purchase. And I bought this food. And the fish now looks absolutely gorgeous. Dark, deep blood, red orange. In fact, you can see this colour on my Star Wars droid here. About here is like that colour. Like a dark, deep orangey red. It's brilliant. And the tank now, I think I just need to get about another 3 more snails and a couple more shrimps, and it should tidy the tank up. It's actually due for a filter change tomorrow, I think. But my tank is completely different to what you remember when I first got it, and I said I wanted it minimalistic and white and like really posh and trendy. It's not like that. Not like that at all now. It's like a proper, I've got live plants in it. It's very green. It looks a very nice tropical greenish tank. So it looks good. Have I played the Apollo 13 on VR? I tell you what, Niall, I haven't played it. However, I have actually sat and watched the entire thing on somebody's Oculus VR on YouTube. And the reason I did is because it wasn't coming to PlayStation VR at the time. However, I think it has now, hasn't it? And I must admit, I liked the look of it. I thought it was brilliant. Thought it was really cool. I got new filter, so you use air pump. Is that a double question or a double thing, Craig? I know you was getting a new filter, or are you asking me, do I use an air pump? If you're asking me, do I use air pump? No, the tank's not big enough. I wouldn't have them. I think they're. I never used to have air pumps in any of my fish tanks. I think they're just alarm fish. They just like I know that they say they oxygenate the water, but providing you get live plants in there and you've got a decent filtration system, there's plenty of oxygen. Water's made of fucking O2 in it. It's got oxygen in it. So, do you know what I mean? It's H2O, so there's fucking water, there's oxygen in it. And the only thing I've ever seen a air thing do in fish tanks is scare the fish. And you know what I hate more than anything? You know when I go to people's asses, or used to go to people's asses, and see people with fish tanks and they've got them like fucking divers, or them like oyster shells, and then they pop up with air bubbles. I could scream. I think they're so tacky and so shit. I got a cold fish called Bob. Nice one. Probably end of this year, end of next year, I might treat myself to a flugel tank, like I said last night. If I get this room, well, I say if, I will get this room. My printer out of the kitchen when it's repaired, onto this new shelving system, make that my printer room. The space where my printer was, that tank's going, then I can get a flugel on there. So, yeah, I've heard good things about that, Matt. That David Attenborough thing, but obviously it's nothing, it's just like a show. I don't. How much is it, by the way? Is it fucking? Because to be honest, them kind of VR experiences I love. In the first few weeks of VR, when we had them balloon experiences and all that shit, I love them. Because you can remember when I talked on the show that time about that one that just let you sit on the beach and watch the water and then watch Northern Lights. I fucking love that. I really did. Because it let you put Spotify on as well. And I can't remember what it was called. I'll have to find it. But you stick some really cool headphones on, put that on, and then put your thingy on. God, it was fantastic. They're doing a Mars one to Journey to... Oh, that'll be cool. I do think, as well as VR's doing, and it is doing well, I do think they need to just check back on the price points a little bit. I know that when it initially went out, the price point of some VR stuff was a fucking joke, a real big joke. I think they just need to knock it back a bit now. Now we're getting to being a year down the line, and such things as these experiences, as they're called, I think they need to be just a few quid. You know, the company's still making money. It's not cost them a shitload to make it. Um, so yeah, I think they just need to knock the prices back. I mean, a game, by all means, charge a decent amount. It's a game. If you put development time in it, you deserve your money. But experiences, they need to be a couple of quid, because I think what they probably don't grasp. I think experiences in VR, that is what's going to entice new people to it, because experiences are what you show your granny or your family at Christmas time. Oh look, granny, I've got this. Look, put this on your head. Let me show you this. And you transform here into David Attenborough's fucking forest, looking at gorillas or what have you. They're going to lose the fucking mind. So experiences, I think, are to show people, and I think they need to make more of it. Oh god, that's gone right down my nose, or trying something stupid. Holy shit, that's nearly blown top of my head off. Fucking hell, that was a weird experience. Fucking hell. I didn't swallow it. I put the whiskey in my mouth and I just let it run down my mouth without swallowing. And it like did a bit of backfire and came back up into my mouth and then in my nose, and it's like blew the top of my head off. But that was a mad experience. Holy fuck. Oh dear. What do you guys think? I see I've joined Xbox fucking Gold again at the right time for the Xbox games for Gold. They're really kicking, aren't they, this month? I think they knew how we're coming back. Yeah, fuck it. Tozza's back. Let's put shit fucking games on Xbox Gold. I know we can't complain. Okay, Matt. Thanks for joining, guys. Don't forget about the like as well. In fact, actually, I might actually just stop the stream so I can actually just go and do a bit myself. It's gone midnight. We've been here, what, 2.5 hours? So, I hope you enjoyed my boring chats as always. I always enjoy chatting, guys. You keep me company. You keep me from going over the edge. So, like I say, please click the likes. It shows me that you're interested, and it shows me that you do enjoy it. When I see people don't like it. Don't forget about the t-shirts, guys, if there's any more. If anybody's interested in t-shirts. Oh shit, Niall, I haven't, mate. No, fuck. Not even looked at that yet. Well spotted. I was just winding the stream down, but well done. I might even go and have a look at that right now, actually, and leave this to download. But well spotted. Where do I find it, by the way? Do I need to look for anything special, or is it all splashed everywhere? But anyway, guys, click the like. It does show me that you like my streams. And I will be back tomorrow. God knows what I'm going to do tomorrow. More than likely, 99.9999% it will be this. Because this will be downloaded. You know I love this. I want to play it all for you guys on the stream. And I will play the entire character to the end. So anybody that's never seen Diablo to the end will get to see it. So, yeah. By the way, t-shirts, guys, if you are wanting them, as I've said this before, I need just for you to drop me an email at crankytoz@gmail.com just to say, yes, Toz, I'm interested in a t-shirt. You don't have to give me size, you don't have to give me fucking anything. It's just so I have a little ballpark figure of the numbers, because I've got to pay for these myself. And I want to know what numbers are like, see if it's worth all this hassle. Because I'm paying for a cartoonist to draw pictures as well, so it's cost out my pocket. And if I'm going to get only 2 or 3 people, then it's not worth it. So if you are interested, crankytoss@gmail.com, and you don't have to do anything. So just say t-shirt, yes. And it will be a few weeks to a month yet, because it's only just in the pipeline. And they will be for Cranky Gamers UK and for Cranky Rambler. So take your pick. And also there may be colours further down the line. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night, guys. Thank you, Niall, for that. I'm going to have a quick look at that right now. Um, and like I say, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully we will have some fucking Diablo tomorrow. Can we have one called Cranky Stream Team? That'd be good, actually. Obviously, moving forward, designs. I think a couple of people in the room the other night said they'll try and do me some designs. I've not had any yet. Nobody's sent me any designs. If you want to design a decent t-shirt thing and you're good at art, knock yourself out, drop me in an email, and if it's really good, I'll stick it on a t-shirt. So if there's any budding artists out there and good designers, you stick one on there. You know the theme, Cranky Gamers UK or Cranky Rambler. So we could have some cool t-shirts. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night, guys. I think we might get something to eat at this late hour because I am rav. Anyway, until tomorrow night. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Enjoyed your company. Good night, boys and girls.